In the late 1980s, boxing fans were treated to an unexpected gem, a light heavyweight trilogy that delivered grit, drama, and non-stop action. Dennis Andries and Jeff Harding, two men from opposite corners of the world, shared little in terms of background, but everything when it came to toughness. They proved to be perfect foils, resilient, relentless, and incapable of giving anything less than everything. Dennis Andries was born on November 5, 1953 in Guyana, and raised in the hard streets of London's East End. A late bloomer by boxing standards, he turned professional at 24 and slogged through the unforgiving British circuit. Nicknamed the Hackney Rock, Andries was not known for finesse. He was rugged, heavy-handed, and extremely crude, but stubbornly persistent, a blue-collar fighter who carved out a reputation with sheer grit and an iron chin. In 1986, that persistence paid off. Andries upset J.B. Williamson to claim the WBC light heavyweight title, an improbable but hard-earned coronation. He defended the belt against British favorite Tony Simpson, but his next challenge came from royalty, Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Hearns bounced Andries around like a yo-yo and stopped him in 10 punishing rounds. Most would have quit. Andries instead sought reinvention. He traveled to Detroit and walked into the Kronk gym, asking Hearns' trainer, the legendary Emmanuel Stewart, to teach him what he did wrong. Stewart, taken by Andries' humility and raw determination, agreed. Under Kronk's roof, Andries learned to tighten his punches, use a jab, and finally integrate some semblance of defense. The transformation was real. He upset Bobby Ches and reclaimed his old title with a fifth-round knockout of Tony Willis. His next scheduled defense was set for Don Lalonde, but when Lalonde retired unexpectedly, a last-minute replacement was needed. In stepped Jeff Harding on 3 weeks' notice, an unheralded Australian with a surfer's tan, a brawler's temperament, and an unshakable belief in himself. Born on February 5, 1965, Harding was a self-described hippie, fishing, surfing, sleeping in tents with friends, smoking weed, and living on the dole after giving up a back-breaking job boiling bricks for a living. Boxing wasn't his calling. It was his escape. But once he committed, the chaos gave way to structure. Discipline followed. Harding captured a silver medal at the 1986 Commonwealth Games and soon came under the guidance of the revered trainer Johnny Lewis. Harding's style was pure old school. He didn't box so much as fight. He didn't mind getting hit. Sometimes he seemed to invite it. Like Hearns, he earned the nickname Hitman, but instead of one-punch power, Harding brought volume and pressure. With just 14 pro bouts, Harding's handlers viewed the Andries opportunity as too good to pass up. He was 11 years younger, and they bet that if he could survive the early rounds, youth and work rate would carry him late. Harding himself shrugged off the age gap. He's of age, but age is nothing, Harding said. Desire is what makes a fighter.
And we're ready to get this on. Our three scoring judges today, by the way, Richard Murray, Arsenio Garcia, and Ismael Quinon. Round one underway. Dennis Andries in the gold trunks. Jeff Harding, the challenger from Australia, wearing the black.
Dennis Andries is traditionally a slow starter, but he's picked up the pace, his normal pace, a little bit here, and I think that's smart. I don't think he wants this kid to get any confidence. I think he wants to try to jump right on him, drain him of confidence, and not let him into this fight.
Good left jab by Harding, who told us ahead of time that was his plan. He wanted to hide behind that jab. He wants to stay behind it until he figures out. Dennis Andries, certainly the stiffest competition Jeff Harding has ever seen.
The word that used to be synonymous with Dennis Andries was awkward. I mean, he was a very crude, awkward guy, but he has, at the advanced stages of his career, in his middle or late 30s, refined himself. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Emmanuel Stewart says when Dennis Andries got to the Kronk gym in Detroit, he didn't know any tricks. He had to teach him some.
Alex would know a good word to describe Andries. Be relentless. He just beats on you and beats on you.
Yeah, he is prepared to do whatever's necessary to win. He'll just keep coming back at you. He has tremendous resiliency. And so does Jeff Harding. I mean, to this date, so far in his career against the opponents that he's faced, he has shown the ability to take punishment and come back also.
Offensive. Dennis Andries, though, not an opponent used to going backwards. So
no, neither man.
This
right.
will be fought in the middle of the ring, I would suspect.
Right.
Good jabs by Harding, but good work to the body by Andries. Left and right combinations to the ribs.
You know, it's ironic. Both these men, if you had to find a fault with them, the most glaring thing has been that they have good body shot there by Harding. Very good. Both men have had defensive liabilities. They've been wide open and easy to hit.
A good right from Andries, found home, and you saw it snap the head of Harding back. And now it's Jeff Harding up against the ropes.
The point I was making about defense, both men are concentrating at times on holding their hands up much higher than normal. Ooh, there's a cut on the left eye, an abrasion or a cut on the left eye of the challenger Harding.
By the amount of redness, and a solid right from Andries landed on that eye, and it has opened it up.
It also buckled the legs of Jeff Harding.
A lot of punches from both fighters have landed. There's another left to the ear of Harding. These two fighters have taken a toll on each other already here in the first round. The bell just sounds and round two is underway, and Alex, between rounds we could see that that cut is more to the side of Jeff Harding's eye.
Right, it may bother him more mentally than physically. I don't think it's going to obscure his vision, but it's a tough thing to go in trying for your world title and get busted up in the first round.
The way these two are landing punches in the first round, you have to wonder if they can do that. Oh, good right, and then two lefts by Dennis Andries.
That might have looked like a somewhat wild overhand right by Andries, but that's a straight right compared to what he used to do. He used to really wing his punches. He has been working hard to shorten them up.
Oh, and another right, followed by a right, both landing to Harding, but still neither one of those punches rocked him backwards.
What the head, Dennis? What the head inside, Dennis?
I'll tell you something. Jeff Harding may not yet be a world-class fighter, but he has a world-class chin. I mean, he's taken some solid shots right on the button. He did buck a little bit once in the first round, but he's still in there winging. He's a tough kid.
And he, in turn, Alex, has landed some solid blows to the body on Andries. Neither one of these two fighters using their bicycle here today. I think they're on the rack.
Yeah, no, this is a definite phone booth fight.
This could be fought in an 8-foot ring. Action here in the second round from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Almost a low blow by Harding, very close.
Dennis thinks you can lose the almost.
Oh, and another right finds the chin of Harding. And Dennis Andries swinging that right, the left lands, and Jeff Harding up against the rope.
Work on it. Come on, work on it.
And Alex, your point I think is well made. That right looks like it's wild, but it's going right where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, and Harding also is not a good enough fighter to get out of the way of it.
Work on it.
He's been able in his 14 pro fights to date to get by on toughness. He can take two punches to land his one because his one has always been stronger, but now he's in with a guy who's as strong as he is.
You heard Joe Cortez, the referee, telling Harding to work off the ropes. Just don't stay there. Neither fighter giving any ground, but up to this point, it's been Jeff Harding who's been absorbing most of the heavy blows, the majority.
Dan, a lot of fighters will get discouraged when they hit a man with as many good punches as Dennis Andries has hit Harding with and haven't had him go down. But Dennis Andries does not discourage easily.
Coming to the end of the second round, Rock'em Sock'em. This is action in the third round that just got started. Dennis Andries, the champion, in the gold trunks. And he has been landing some rockets to Jeff Harding's face and body. But Alex, you made the point about Harding having a world-class chin. At least to this point, it looks like he does.
Well, he's got a good cut, man. That cut was not a problem in round two. And wouldn't know it's there as round three starts.
The one thing we know for sure about Jeff Harding, who fights in the same stable with Jeff Fennick, the WBC featherweight champion, is that Johnny Lewis, the trainer, does one thing with his fighters. They are relentless and they are in shape. They could go 20 and 30 rounds. At least that's the impression they give you.
Yeah, featherweight champion.
Sooner or later, I'll get it. Oh, a good right. A good contingent has come up from Australia. There's a look at Fennick, right next to Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Rooting.
Who's that guy sitting next to Jeff Fennick?
Yeah.
Since he retired because of bad hands a few months ago, Jeff Fenech looks like he'd have trouble making the middleweight limit right now.
He does look big. Jeff Harding in only his 15th professional fight.
And
right in the center of the ring. He's not going anywhere.
And right now, Dennis Andries seems to be loading up a little bit more. He seems to be looking for a little bit of air. And I think Jeff Harding would do very well to try to jump on Dennis Andries right now, not let him catch his breath. Of course, you say that, and you always wonder if Harding needs the breather as well.
2 good shots to the body by Andries.
Yeah, you see it?
And in turn, Harding counters. Good work inside by Jeff Harding. Oh, and a solid right uppercut from Andries. Got between the gloves.
Neither man has any ability to slip a punch. They either try, their defense is either to hold their hands up in front of their face, or that's all they have. They really just don't throw punches.
The end of round 3. And Alex, here in the beginning of the 4th round, as we look back at round number 3, one of those rounds very difficult to score. That's one of those easily could go to either fighter.
Well, Andries was so dominant, not so dominant, but dominated the first 2 that you kind of look for the other guy to, missed. You look for the other guy to make a move, and Harding definitely made a move in that round. May have been even. Harding might have won it just barely, but it was a round in which he got a little bit back into the fight. And you could sense the concern in Andres' corner in between rounds. Emmanuel Stewart telling Dennis, you can't back up and you have to throw more punches. You have to get his respect. Right now, Harding's been hit with a lot of heavy punches, but he has no respect yet for Dennis Andries.
Patriarch of the Kronk Gymnasium in Detroit, one of boxing's more fabled gyms. And these two are just trading some heavy-duty artillery.
Very, very few jabs. Both men say they like to jab. Dennis Andries trying to develop one late in his career. There they both tried him.
Oh, and a solid right from Andries to the ribs of Harding.
And a good inside left with it, too, Dan.
Again, an uppercut from Andries, and then he backs out and follows it with a right. Oh, and a solid combination left and right from Andries. But Harding just takes it, doesn't move back.
And keeps coming back.
You have to wonder what Jeff Harding could do for training, Alex, to prepare himself for this kind of punishment in the ring.
Could hit walls with his chin, I guess. I mean, he is getting wrapped with huge power punches.
And every time he gets hit with those big punches from Andries, he doesn't back up. He comes and counters, and a good right. And that caught Harding's attention. Another right from Andries scores. That hit glove.
The left eye of Jeff Harding is no longer bleeding, but it is swelling a little bit. Oh.
And another right to the hairline, followed by a left. And right about now, you'd have to think Dennis Andries is saying to himself, my God, what do I have to hit this guy with?
I think he's reaching a stage where if this kid doesn't have the effect of his punch, show the effect of the punches soon, Dennis will get discouraged.
It's been fast and furious. The 4th round is coming to a close here in Atlantic City. Stay with us. This is the beginning of round number 5. Dennis Andries, the champion, in the gold. Jeff Harding, his challenger, wearing the black. There we go. And Jeff Harding, to this point, has shown that he can take a lot of punishment, illustrated there by that right-left combination from Andries.
Emmanuel Stewart told Dennis in the corner in between rounds, keep throwing that right hand. He can hit him with it, and no man can take that punch for long.
Jeff Harding has not only taken it, but he's also countered with good punches of his own, and there goes Harding down.
2, 3,
Jeff Harding getting up with a smile on his face, and Alex, a mystery blow. I didn't really see a big enough punch to drop him after what he's taken.
We'll wait and see the replay on that. I didn't either. He's obviously not hurt. Only been down once before, never before as a pro, once before as an amateur. And that will count as the first knockdown of his career.
Ruled a knockdown by referee Joe Cortez, and he really had no choice. But it was obvious to us at ringside that Harding really wasn't affected at all by whatever it was that put him to the canvas.
No, I don't think he was affected because I don't think he was hit very much. It had to be the feet getting tangled up somehow, or just a cuff that's thrown down. It's maybe his own important event in the fight, because that was a case where now makes this a 2-point round, even though he wasn't hurt, even though there was no apparent punch. Still a 2-point round.
Well, that's normally the way you can count on a judge to score, that when there's a knockdown, he takes away the extra point.
Of course, you can't imagine that these guys could go to a decision anyway, the way they're fighting. But they are both very, very well conditioned, as we said at the top.
Jeff Harding content to hammer away at the ribs and work inside with the close, compact punches. Neither one of these two has any intention of moving backwards.
What the head, guys? Both of you guys.
And you and I were talking earlier, Alex, about the Australian fighters. I said that I thought Harding had a facial resemblance to Jeff Fennick. He has a fighting resemblance to Fennick as well.
You know, he has the same intensity, the same determination, and the same grit.
ABC's Wide World of Sports will continue after this word from our ABC station. Away in round number 6 from the Atlantic City Convention Center. Jeff Harding and Dennis Andries in a match to this point that they've dished out some punishment. You have to wonder whether they can go 12. That's what we're scheduled for here today. And again, we're here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Dennis Andries, the champion, in the gold. Jeff Harding in the black. We're underway in round 6. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the 6th round. Same for Dennis Andries as well.
The ability to take a punch comes from conditioning. You have to have a God-given chin. But at the end of the day, the ability to come back, the ability to have resiliency, I mean, these guys have put in tremendous amounts of time getting themselves ready for this fight.
What's that elbow, Dennis? What's that elbow, Dennis?
Paraphrasing that would be what Vince Lombardi said. Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Your hands are free.
Right.
Work out.
No cowards today.
What's that elbow, Dennis? What's that elbow?
First time Jeff Harding is laid on the ropes. His corner yelling, get off the ropes.
Come on, work out of there. Come on,
You
your
can see he
hands are
doesn't
free.
have the skill to turn his man, but he does have the strength to try to fight his way off. And he did so pretty effectively there.
That big overhand right from Andries landed on the glove of Harding.
Work ahead, guys. Come on, work ahead.
Jeff is still throwing punches and still landing punches. He looks a little bit slower right now.
Neither one of these two the least bit hesitant to work the body when they're inside close.
The other thing when you're in condition is you wait for second wins and third wins. There, the shoulder of Jeff Harding.
Yeah, and Joe Cortez gives him the warning. That's a good job by Cortez. It was obvious that Harding cleared Andries off with a forearm.
Good job there by Joe Cortez. As Dennis Andries started to hold the head of Jeff Harding, he was working to the midsection of Dennis Andries, and Cortez let him continue to work.
6th round is winding down. This fight scheduled for 12. If it makes it, we're halfway there. In the 7th round, we're started here in Atlantic City, and Alex, pretty funny words by Emmanuel Stewart in between rounds.
Well, he told Dennis Andries, the champion, that you're losing the fight. Now, I question Emmanuel's sincerity in saying that. I think that's motivational. He also said, you got to pick up the pace. And Dennis looked at him like, please, God.
Emmanuel Stewart proving to be a tough man to please, telling his fighter to pick up the pace, and you're losing. The only round I've seen that Harding might have won would have been the 3rd. Oh, good work inside by Jeff Harding. Oh, and again, the right gets over the top and lands by Andries.
With all the punches they're throwing, their heads are also very close, doing some punishment, causing some punishment from time to time.
My ears can't be deceiving me. Those are solid blows.
Yeah, sometimes you can land a lot of punches and wonder why the other guy doesn't go, and it's because the guy landing the punches doesn't have power. Both these men have proven power.
Again, Jeff Harding on the ropes and showing an inability to get off. That's more or less a case of Andries just letting him off.
That left eye on Harding is open again, and it may be open a little bit more on top this time.
Got to go back and reference what we were talking about earlier about Dennis Andries being 35 years old and potentially being even older than that, Alex, to keep up this kind of pace for a 12-round fight. Truly remarkable for a man of that age.
There are people in England who say Dennis Andries is 40 years old. I mean, he just really is an amazing specimen. He's very dedicated and very, very determined.
Draw a hot bath for these two. If this goes much longer, they've got to be hurting. And the bell sounds to get the 8th round started here in Atlantic City. This is the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship between Dennis Andries and Jeff Harding. I'm Dan Deerdorf along with Alex Wallow, and this has been a fight, Alex, not much on finesse, but a whole lot of toughness and a whole lot of great
Hard to believe that this fight, with all the punches that have been landed, that this fight could go to a decision. Especially the body punches have been landed, like the ones that Harding just landed on Andries. You'd think they'd have a total here in the later rounds that one of these guys, oh, you see Andries there, touching his left eye like he thought he might have gotten cut.
If it wasn't for the physical signs that this fight has gone this long in terms of the redness around the face of Harding and his cut eye, to look at these two fighters and the way they're moving and the way they're breathing, you'd think this was 4 or 5 rounds ago.
This is as much action as you will ever see with two guys of this size. Light heavyweights.
If you joined us late, the pace you are seeing here in round number 8 has not changed from the opening bell.
This is actually a little bit, oh, there.
Andries goes back on the ropes on purpose, stung by a Harding shot. Andries trying to load up with a wild right that was easily blocked. And his combination gets between the gloves of Harding.
And this is Jeff Harding's opportunity in this fight. Dennis Andries is not real hurt. He's still dangerous, but he needs a rest.
And psychologically, Dennis Andries has to be saying to himself, I don't think I can take this guy out. I don't know if I can hit him hard enough to take him out.
He may not stay that way, but for the first time in the fight, Dennis Andries actually looks discouraged.
Doing a good left-right combination from Harding. Both found the chin of Dennis Andries.
I think Harding can feel it. He's trying to turn it up a notch.
Work at it.
Right from Dennis Andries that took him off balance. One of the signs that fatigue is beginning to set in. Are we reaching the point where the younger fighter has an advantage? I don't know. 4 rounds scheduled. This bout's supposed to be 12. Round 8 comes to a close. Just underway in the 9th round. The 8th round being Jeff Harding's best round to date, wouldn't you say, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we can sustain the action or whether Dennis Andries gets his 2nd, 3rd, 4th win wherever he is. Oh, man. That uppercut is such a dangerous punch. He's landed it a number of times, tries it.
There's a baseball card show taking place here in Atlantic City, and how's that? There's the Yankee Clipper Joe DiMaggio sitting next to the splendid splinter, Ted Williams, two of baseball's greatest players taking in the fight here today in in Atlantic City.
Maury Will's also here. Joe DiMaggio, though, is a real good fight fan. He's the kind of guy to show up a fight whether he's doing a baseball card signing or not.
Well, I bet both of those guys are saying spring training was never this tough. Hitting the little white ball doesn't seem so hard compared to what these two are doing to each other.
Each of these fighters would like to have a baseball bat in their hands right now.
I don't know if they could hurt each other. Oh, a good combination from Harding. The crowd sensing a momentum shift. And Jeff Fennick, Harding's Australian teammate and friend over in the front row on the other side of the ring, about to hyperventilate.
There's just really not a lot to analyze here, Dan. I mean, you hit me, I'll hit you, and who's in the best condition, and who can take the punch the best, and who can throw the most punches.
That blow from Andries hit the glove of Harding. Don't be confused by the sound. We are in the 9th round of this championship fight. A good left by Andries.
You pointed out about Harding, but, you know, neither of these men is really sucking for air. They both just... It's unbelievable.
Again, Harding on the ropes and not showing the ability to get out. And again, it's Andries who more or less lets him off, although Harding comes out with a pretty strong left.
Jeff Harding is a little bit too upright there. He's throwing punches, but he needs to bend like that, like he did for the body punch, to get the leverage. He can't stand straight up.
The waning seconds of the 9th round. What more can you ask for? In the 10th round, these two pick up where they left off, right in the middle of the ring and wailing away. And Alex, I know announcers often are guilty of overhyping their event, but what do you say about a fight like this?
Yeah, I'm in a little bit of trouble right now because I never thought this fight was going the distance, so I got to figure out the scoring. Harding, I have winning the last 2 rounds. He's climbed back into it. I think he'd have to at least win 2 out of these last 3.
That's the way my scorecard reads as well, that he would have to win 2 of the 3 to have a shot at it. Because it was Dennis Andries through the first 6 rounds, with maybe Harding stealing the 3rd. But it has been Jeff Harding and his ability to take everything that Dennis Andries has thrown his way. And we're not talking about fluff either. We're talking about heavy-duty barrages. A good example there. 2 good lefts from Andries. By the same token, Harding has hit Andries with a lot. A good example of that left to the body, but Andries doesn't appear to be worse for
He
wear.
came right back with a brutal right hand to the head. That slit over the left eye of Harding is just starting to open again.
Dennis Andries shaking his head as he backed out of that last exchange. Has to be a frustrated fighter.
All of a sudden, Jeff Harding is starting to show the effects of this. Bleeding from the nose, bleeding from the mouth, bleeding from the left eye.
Now you have to wonder if he's fighting a fighter who wants to show a lot of movement, what kind of fighter Harding would be. He's certainly not had any of that today by either one of these two.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. He might have trouble with a clever boxer. But there aren't going to be too many men who stand there and make themselves available outside of Dennis Andries who are going to be able to stand up to this. He's a tough kid. That may be the stupidest thing we've ever said.
What scares me is it made sense to me.
You don't know he's a tough kid by now. You haven't been watching.
This is the end of the 10th round. We'll be back. Stay with us, won't you? That's the bell that begins the 11th round for the WBC World Light Heavyweight Championship here at the Convention Center in Atlantic City. Dennis Andries wearing the gold, Jeff Harding, the challenger, wearing the black. And these two have wailed away on each other for 10 rounds. I'm Dan Deerdorf along with Alex Wallow, and some punishment has been dished out. chewed, digested, and neither one of these guys showing much in the way of an effect.
Well,
Harding bleeding from the nose now. But again, it's difficult to tell whether it's more along the line of abrasions or really something internal. Certainly leaves you exposed to the uppercut.
especially when you're as busted up as Jeff Harding is, and when the guy uses his head like that.
Oh, and another right. The left was blocked, but the right really rocked Harding. And what does he do? He counters and knocks Andries back to the rope.
Arm punching right now. Jeff Harding should dig down and rip some punches. Not arm punch.
Oh, look at it.
And the blood really starting to come out of the nose of Jeff Harding. And now it's Dennis Andries, but Harding fights his way off the ropes.
Oh, work at it. Come on, get those arms out. Come on. Get those arms out of there. Come on, work at it.
Look at the Andries head.
Come on, work at it. Work at it.
Andries leaning on Harding, attempting to keep him on the ropes. And nifty little sidestep by Jeff Harding. That's the first time he's made a move on the ropes.
Get that off the neck. Get that off the neck.
Tremendous body punching by Jeff Harding.
And it shows on Dennis Andries, who's covering up.
A little bit of a wobble in Dennis Andries right there for those 4 body punches.
And that right sends Andries back, and for the first time, Dennis Andries giving the appearance of a man in trouble.
If Harding could dig down and land a series of power punches, Joe Cortez might stop it.
15 seconds left in the 11th round. Dennis Andries ought to throw a punch. Joe Cortez looking closely. Inside 5 seconds here in the 11th. That's it. There's a bell. One more round.
And look at the spring and the step of Jeff Harding at the end of the 11th round. He threw his hands up, bounced back to his corner.
Let's be quiet. Let's be quiet. Let's be honest. Listen, let's just get up there.
Let's take
keep
a look
ourselves
at
tidy. Wear him out.
some of the
and you hit
blows
him
from
with
the 11th,
everything.
Alex.
Understand that, son? We're a minute away from the WBC championship.
This is after the body punches that got Andries in trouble. He went back to the ropes.
Last round.
Harding putting together a series of punches, could not get over the 1 or 2 punches in combination that would force the referee to stop it.
Relax, relax. Come on. Just get back down the middle. Jeffrey, mate, jab him hard.
A lot
and
of
uppercut
blood from
him.
Jeff Harding, but again, he's not breathing deeply.
Something else.
Right, got to go all out.
Right hand, left hook.
Everything you got on it, too.
Keep your back. That's it. The last one. Get up.
Traditional great championship bouts here at the Trump Plaza. It's another.
These are 2 of the most finely conditioned fighters I have ever seen, Alex.
You know, we said at the top of the show,
Oh, and again, Andries is rocked early by a left from Harding. Boy, this round not even 10 seconds old, and Andries against the rope.
Dennis Andries will not give up his title without a fight.
Work at it. Work at it. Come on.
Dennis Andries' legs appear to be very stiff. He doesn't seem to have a lot underneath him.
If Jeff Harding could put together a series,
Oh, and there it is. The combination of Andries is down.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You all right? You okay?
Dennis Andries' legs are stiff as can be. And Jeff Harding on the attack, and he's down.
there is no, look at Jeff Harding. There is no 3 knockdown rule.
Hey, you okay? Huh? All right?
Dennis Andries says, I'm fine.
It's over!
Stops the fight. Jeff Harding, the first Australian ever to be the light heavyweight champion of the world. The Australian contingent is in the ring. On the shoulders of his countrymen, Jeff Harding. Let's take a look at the first knockdown. Here is Jeff Harding. 2 lefts, and the combination sends him to the ground.
Dennis Andries, it just appeared he just gave everything he had. He wasn't unconscious when he went down. He just had nothing more to give. On my scorecard, Jeff Harding needed a knockout to win, and he got it.
Dennis Andries rose for the 3rd time, but Joe Cortez wisely steps in, stops it, and Jeff Harding, the WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, will return here to Atlantic City for an interview. We'll be back in just a minute.
Jeff, not one of the best fights of the year, one of the best fights I've ever seen. Your reaction to your unbelievable performance?
I'd like to, first of all, thank everybody from Australia that came out here with me. My trainer, Johnny Lewis, I love so much, and everyone else that helped me. I'd like to thank Master Saad Mohammed for giving me such a great sparring session in the preparation for this fight. And also I'd like to thank everybody else that was involved with Jeff Harding's success. And I'd like to say hello to my mother and mum and dad at home, and I'll be home. I'm the champ.
Jeff, when you got this shot, because Donnie Lalonde retired, you only had 14 pro fights. In your mind, was there doubt whether you were ready to win a world championship?
Johnny Lewis took the fight. That was good enough as a win for me. He's my mentor. He tells me what to do. I just do the boxing. Johnny Lewis, I love this guy. Because of Johnny Lewis, I'm here. And Stevie Cansdell, I love you too, brother.
Jeff, I have the scorecards here. One judge had the champion Dennis Andries ahead by 2 points. One judge had him ahead by 1 point, and Richard Murray had him ahead by 3 points. You needed that knockout to win. Did you think when you came out for round 12 you did?
I got the knockout. I was there till the end. The knockout came. That's boxing.
Congratulations to you, Jeff. Thanks for talking to us.
Harding had both eyes sliced open, his nose broken, and was sent to the hospital after. The nurses, surveying the damage, assumed he was the loser. "No," Harding said, "I'm the world champion. You should have seen the other bloke." Harding required 31 stitches and plastic surgery. He made 2 successful defenses, but the rematch everyone knew was coming arrived a little more than a year after their first encounter. This time, the fight would take place on Harding's home soil. The roles had reversed. Harding was now the celebrated champion, a national hero. Andries, 36 years old, though some quietly suspected more, returned as the hungry challenger, traveling halfway across the world with a single-minded purpose. Andries blamed the loss on a struggle to make weight. His trainer, Emmanuel Stewart, shouldered some of the responsibility as well. During that camp, Stewart had divided his attention, briefly leaving Andries to oversee Thomas Hearns' rematch with Sugar Ray Leonard. This time there would be no distractions. Stewart was present from start to finish and promised a different outcome. Andries has never been fitter, mentally or physically in his career, Stewart said. I expect him to beat Harding by knockout within 8 rounds. Ironically, this time it was Harding who ran into trouble making weight. In the final days before the fight, he trained in near secrecy, doing what he could to hide how much weight he had to lose. 5 months earlier, Harding had made another significant change. He parted ways with longtime trainer Johnny Lewis and turned instead to Manny Hinton, Lewis's former understudy. The move was more than strategic. Harding wanted to step out from under the long shadow of his famous stablemate, Jeff Fennick, and prove that this championship and this moment belonged solely to him.
Today even planned on flipping punches, something he's been working on, and that would be a revelation. Good double jab by Andries, followed by a solid right to the rib.
So despite what Jeff Harding said about knowing he had to get off to a faster start, Dennis Andries has set the pace here in the opening round.
The majority of the good punches in this round have been landed by Andries.
He's been getting off first. Jeff Harding has been waiting a little bit too much.
The Australian crowd is as quiet as their fighter's been here in round number 1. Here we go in the second round. Well, and again, it's Dennis Andries that comes out swinging
and loading up more this round.
Well, you heard Emmanuel Stewart between rounds 1 and 2 telling Dennis Andries, stop throwing the right hand to the body. I want you to keep throwing the right hand, but I want it to go to the chin, not to the ribs.
And that's very unusual for...
Oh, and there is that right hand that goes over the top and lands.
Very unusual for a trainer to tell his man to not work the body. Generally, they try to get him away from head hunting. Here, Emanuel wants his man to go after the head.
Very reminiscent of the start of the last fight. It has been Dennis Andries exacting a toll on Jeff Harding.
He has not yet cut Jeff Harding, and that's going to be an interesting thing to watch, Dan. This fight was originally scheduled for June 2nd. It was postponed because a cut that Jeff suffered in his last defense in March reopened in May, and it was He has not yet even begun to find his rhythm.
Well, he hasn't let his hands go at all.
And that may be because he's concentrating on learning new things. It's always tough, you know, to learn things in the gym. Again, the Andries right hand gets home, Dan. Jeff Harding is a key. You can just see him thinking in there about the things he's been learning from his new trainer in terms of movement and defense.
Maybe Jeff Harding thinks because he's the younger man, the longer this fight goes on, the more it suits me. But still, it's a strategy that's based upon taking a lot of punishment if that's intentional.
Good jab by both men there.
And again, Jeff Harding, though, with the left hand a little low, pays for it by letting an Andries right come over the top.
Crowd excited by a little bit of Harding work, but a lot of those were slaps.
Again, the right hand from Andries. Now Harding is doing a good job most of the time of keeping both gloves up alongside his face. A lot of Dennis Andries' jabs are catching gloves.
There's a little bit of movement from Jeff Harding. He tried to throw a punch with it and missed badly. The fighter trying new things.
Still, I think Jeff Harding's opinion of Dennis Andries in this fight all boils down to his one statement. He's a year older and I'm a year better. We've got 10 rounds to find out if that's true. Both fighters out of their stools a good 10 seconds before the end of the break. Anxious to get the third round underway. We are here in Melbourne, Australia at the National Tennis Center. I'm Dan Deerdorf along with Alex Swallow, and we're here for the WBC light heavyweight title fight. The title that's held by Jeff Harding, the Australian, formerly held by Dennis Andries, the challenger there on your left. There is Emanuel Stewart, the head honcho of the Crown Chin. He spent 3 solid weeks here with Dennis Andries and blames Andries' last defeat on the fact that he didn't arrive until the night before the fight in Atlantic City. Says I let him down. They've been here in Melbourne for 2 weeks, where Dennis has even wowed the locals, Alex, by even talking about moving here to Australia.
He was tongue in cheek. They didn't know it. Yeah. Many fewer good, solid scoring punches here than in the first fight, Dan. Much more missing.
Jeff Harding, Alex, just hasn't learned to throw a lot of his punches with leverage. There's a right hand that lands, but still it was basically an arm punch.
Yeah, he's a straight-up kid who does not get leverage except with the left hook to the body, and I'm really surprised that so far he has really neglected the Oh, he's hurt.
Oh, good left hand by Dennis Andries, and you can see it wobbled the legs of Harding.
And it didn't seem to be that clean a punch, Dan.
It landed right on the forehead, though. And you could see Harding rock back and then decided to try to come in, and his legs almost gave way. We're in the third round here in Melbourne. About 45 seconds left.
The Andries corner yelling at him to keep throwing the right hand.
And Jeff Harding looks stiff, Alex. Oh, and another good right hand from Dennis Andries. Another right hand.
And now you're going to see, I think, Jeff Harding reverse the form. I think all that stuff he just learned about movement and defense, he's just going to have to go out and throw punches.
Again, I think back to the last fight and how we kept saying how Dennis Andries has to reach a point in the fight where he says, what do I have to hit this guy with to take him out? Again, Dennis Andries lands lots of solid blows on Jeff Harding, and Harding is still around. We're at the end of the third.
Punch, watch the left hand. There it was on the temple, as you said, Dan.
Now we are back in the fourth round. Action just underway. At the end of the third, a slight cut opened up underneath the left eye of Jeff Harding. Did not bleed profusely, but it's something to keep a close look on here as we move through the fourth. Dennis Andries again comes over with that big right hand.
That one just missed.
Crowd reacts to just about anything Harding's going to do. Alex, you made a comment to me. Looks like Harding's going to revert back to form.
Yeah, I mean the other way wasn't working for him. He just looked very stiff and passive. Yeah, I think he's just got to concentrate going out and letting his hands go.
There's a couple scoring jabs by Jeff Harding. You can see there is blood around the left eye, and there's a good right hand by Dennis Andries that lands right on that left eye of Harding. Jeff Harding scoring with that jab. I don't think he's doing a lot of punishment with it, but he's scoring.
He's disrupting Dennis Andries. He's backing him up. He's making him reset his own offense.
Well, for the first time, Dennis Andries is fighting someone who's throwing some punches back.
There's one way to make him stop throwing the jab. Wing a right hand right over the top of it.
Clearly, it's Dennis Andries.
And the punch that got Harding in a little bit of trouble was the left hook.
But one thing is familiar, and that's that both of these guys spend the majority of their time in the center of the ring.
And right in front of each other.
Yeah. The longer this fight goes on, I think we'll see less and less footwork.
Again, the Harding jab backing Andries up.
The best round of the fight for Jeff Harding. We're at the end of four. The crowd begins to come alive here at the National Tennis Center in Melbourne. They saw a fourth round where their man Jeff Harding exhibited some life.
And again, the Harding jab. Starting to dictate the pace a little bit. Dennis Andries is still getting home some right hands, but the use of the jab has really gotten Jeff back into this fight.
But still, if you were to count the really good shots that have landed in this fight so far, the vast majority have been landed by Dennis Andries. We are in round number 5, scheduled for 12 for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship.
The man in the inset there is Michael Moore, who's traveled down here with his stablemate Dennis Andries.
We saw an Andrew Maynard stumble last month. Again, Jeff Harding scores with a couple uppercuts. But again, they were scoring punches, I don't think very damaging. There's a good left, and again, the jab of Jeff Harding disrupting Andries. Again, blood around the left eye of Harding. He had streaked along the side of his head. Dennis Andries moving backwards more and more.
I mean, we have him ahead in this fight. I have him ahead in this fight, Dan, but we must say that despite his statements, Dennis does not look better than he did in the first fight so far.
Big right hand just tickled the chin of Harding. And again, it's age, Alex. He tired badly in the last fight. He is a year older. How old he is, I'm not quite sure, but a year older for sure. Oh, and a good right hand by Andries. Again, Harding a little lax and letting the left get low.
I'm just amazed. Oh, another one. He loaded that one up. I'm amazed Harding has ignored the body.
Oh, there's a good right counter by Jeff Harding.
Jeff Harding, except for a few punches at the end of round 4, has ignored the body work that got him so much done in the first fight.
And the bell sounds for the beginning of the 6th round here at the National Tennis Center in Melbourne, Australia. Dan Dierdorf and Alex Swallow are ringside. Hope you're enjoying this one for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship, held by the man on the left, formerly held by the man on the right. Who lost it? To the man who sat on the right. One of the great fights of 1989. Jeff Harding won the championship with a 12th round TKO of Dennis Andries. Andries trying to return the favor. Again, off to a strong start. But the last 2 rounds, the momentum seems to be switching in favor of the Australian.
Yeah, the resiliency in Dennis Andries is just not there right now. Harding is doing some work, and it's having more effect on Dennis than his history as a fighter would indicate. And that just has to be age. I mean, has to be a guy who at age 36, and as we said, some say as old as in his 40s, it's just not there. You know, he still has that big right hand, and he has been landing it in isolated. I mean, even in that last round, which I gave to Harding, Dennis scored 2 very, very big right hands, and he's still capable of getting Harding in trouble with it. But he just has not been as active as he was in the first fight or earlier in this fight.
We'd like to remind our local ABC stations that at the end of this round, we will be taking a station break. There's a right uppercut by Dennis Andries. Those punches by Harding, rather, landed on gloves.
Yeah, but they weren't real big punches, and yet they backed Dennis all the way over onto the ropes. It's just the power and the strength is there in moments like that right hand, but it's just not there for the 3 minutes of the round.
But the right hand, he landed 2 of them within 5 seconds, and they're good scoring punches.
Harding using the jab to good effect, but not using any body punches. It seems like the emphasis on the left jab has just gotten away from that left hook to the body that was his most effective weapon in the first fight, that really did all the damage and wearing Dennis Andries down to the knockout late in the fight.
Well, if this fight goes the distance, at the end of this round, we'll be halfway home. ABC's Wide World of Sports, featuring the WBC World Light Heavyweight Championship, will continue after this word from your local ABC station. As usual, they meet in the middle here at the beginning of the 7th round. And Alex, between rounds, you made a good observation about the way Dennis Andries closed the 6th.
Well, I thought he stole the 6th with some hard shots.
Look at him come out here in the 7th. Dennis Andries pummeling Jeff Harding. And Harding a little lax in blocking some of those blows. Again, another right hand gets between the gloves. Uppercuts are scoring.
And this has to shock Jeff Harding because, I mean, I think he just thought he was getting on top. And Dennis Andries is winding down, and here he comes out like a ball of fire to start the second half of the fight.
Boy, but this is a strategy that could backfire on Andries if he doesn't take Harding out. You wonder what this is going to do to his stamina, not only for the balance of this round, but for the balance of the fight. And you can already see the blows from Dennis Andries growing and becoming more and more like arm punches.
He's punched himself out a little bit here, understandably. Oh, that left again, the left hurts Harding.
And
again, it didn't look like that to the left hand, Dan.
It didn't, but clearly you can see Harding's legs went stiff. Jeff Harding appeared to be staggered by that Andries shot. But I don't know how much Andries has left to give here in the 7th. Both fighters at this point looking tired. And you saw Dennis Andries miss with a right and just kind of stagger after him.
Dennis is exhausted, but Jeff just doesn't have anything to put on him right now.
Still a little over a minute left in this round. Oh, and there is a knockdown. A big, wild right hand catches Jeff Harding, who's still on the mat.
His left eye is cut. It's now streaming blood.
Jeff Harding didn't get up. Jeff Harding didn't get up. Acting like he was in control. Waited too long to get up. And a knockout for Dennis Andries here in the 7th round. And talk about a shocked crowd in Melbourne.
And all that resiliency and all that determination that Jeff Harding had to win the title just was not there in his title defense here, his 3rd title defense.
Jeff Harding went down on the canvas right in front of us, gave us the impression that he was fine, was taking a breather before he got up, and then just took his sweet old time, Alex, and got caught.
Dan, I thought that his gloves cleared the canvas, but then he went right back down, and Arthur McCanny correctly continued the count.
Oh, there's no doubt Jeff Harding did not get up. Let's go back, if we can, and take a look at the knockdown and then listen in, and we'll hear the count of Arthur McCanny.
You're right.
Oh, and there is a knockdown. A big, wild right hand catches Jeff Harding, who's still on the mat.
His left eye is cut. It's now streaming blood. And you saw absolutely no protest from Jeff Harding.
No.
I mean, he was a thoroughly beaten fighter.
Very strange by Jeff Harding. Dennis Andries is the first British fighter to win a title 3 times as he upsets Jeff Harding here in Melbourne. We'll be back with some interviews with both fighters here on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Congratulations to you for the 3rd time a world champion. What was the difference in this fight?
Condition, ready to take what he can give and give it back so he can feel hurt, feel pain. This guy never really feel real pain like how I did.
It looked to us, Dennis, like you came out, won the first 3 rounds, and then he seemed to come on a little bit. Used the jab to good effect, seemed to be backing you up. You seemed to be weakening.
No, I was timing him because I fight good going back and forward, so I had to mix it, go forward, go back, go forward, go back. Some fighters wasn't built with a reverse gear like Jeff Harding. He don't know how to reverse. He could learn to go find a reverse gear, he could get good, go forward and back, you know.
Dennis, you came out and you seemed to be throwing punches in that final round as though you felt you needed or could knock him out at that point. Was that your feeling going into that round?
Yeah. Well, my trainer told me you're losing it again, boy. Get going, you know, step it up.
Let's talk to your trainer.
To the chest, throw to the chin. Don't go over the top.
Congratulations to you also, Emmanuel. This is a fighter of unusual discipline and determination.
There was a lot of determination. We figured that studying both styles, as I told you earlier, I know that both guys was going to get hit a lot because neither one of them are the most classic fighter, but we were going to be prepared for a more physical fight this time than he was. And as it turned out, that's what it turned out to be. I felt that Dennis could have won 6 more rounds easy at that pace because that's what we had worked on. I didn't think anyone was going to outbox the other guy in this fight. And as it turned out, it was a war, but we were better prepared. In the last round, we told him to try to shorten up the right hand a little bit more. It was going over top of his head. And the only way that Harding was avoiding the punch was simply by just going underneath. He never, went back. So when he shortened up the punch and it came a little bit lower, it started catching him, and it was just a matter of time. And I thought McCanny had a good opportunity if he wanted to even stop it earlier. So
thanks, Emmanuel. One quick thing, Dennis, before we go. You've won the title 3 times. Now you got to learn how to defend it.
That's no problem. Let them all come and try and take it off me. I like to fight Virgil for $3 million. Do you hear that, Virgil? I want to fight with $3 million.
Thanks and congratulations.
Okay, Alex, let's go ahead and take a look, if we could, at the end of the fight here in the 7th round. There's a big overhand right by Dennis Andries, and that's the blow that did a lot of damage. It sends Jeff Harding back into the ropes. And again, another right connects, and there's the right that puts Harding down. But interestingly, watch Jeff Harding look over to his corner right here and kind of say, I'm okay, no big deal. And then very nonchalantly gets up to his haunches and does not beat the count. And Arthur McCanny, rightly so, says that is the end of the fight. And here's the reaction from the new WBC light heavyweight champion, Dennis Andries. A little acrobatics. And right now, Alex Wallow is over in the locker room of the defeated former champion.
Jeff, what happened to you?
I think I just froze, and Dennis just got the better of my situation and capitalized on it.
Why do you think you froze in this situation before your hometown fans?
Well, I don't think it's got, basically, you know, the bottom line is I fight for myself, I don't fight for the crowd, but, you know, I can understand what you're saying. Just one of those things, you know, I can't explain it, but, you know, I'll be back, and that's the main thing.
It seemed at the end, Jeff, at the stoppage of the fight, that you could have gotten up, you could have beaten the count, you were totally conscious, you nodded to your corner, and you didn't. What happened there?
I don't know, I think I was in two worlds, basically. I'm just recollecting my thoughts now and just thinking, you know, why it was, but obviously, you know, that's just boxing, and you know, Dennis was the better man on the day, and you know, he's a great warrior, and he's proved that in the past, and he proved it tonight.
Let me ask you one tactical question. You won the first fight basically with body punching. You used very, very little body punching in this fight. Why was that?
Yeah, basically I should emphasise more on the body attack. My game plan was probably two to the head mostly. I think I should have just got my act together and, like you said, attack to the body and just use the strategy that I used last time. But you know, I'll live to fight again.
Where do you go from here in your mind?
Well, you know, I'll just get my thoughts together and let things happen for me. You know, obviously it's a bitter taste in my mouth. You know, defeat is obviously it's the worst thing to experience. But you know, champions come back, and I really believe that I am a great champion.
Thanks very much for talking to us.
Emanuel Stewart believed the second fight ended something deeper than a title reign. In his view, Andries hadn't simply beaten Harding, he had taken something from him. It was like a wild horse ridden for the first time, Stewart said. He'll never be the same again. The finishing blows looked crude, almost reckless, more barroom than textbook, but they were effective. Andries got the job done. The Australian crowd, stunned into silence at first, applauded the audacity of Andries' performance. It wasn't the ending they wanted, but they recognized what they had witnessed. With the victory, Andries became a 3-time light heavyweight champion. Harding, gracious in defeat, credited Andries for fighting like a man possessed. Between them, they had now endured 19 rounds of punishment, trading hell in equal measure, absorbing and delivering blows that would have broken lesser fighters. Each man held a victory, and each win had come in dramatic fashion. Andries went on to make 2 successful defenses of the title before agreeing to the inevitable rubber match, scheduled 14 months after their second encounter. The boxing world wanted resolution. The final chapter would be written on Andries' home turf in London. By then, the landscape around Andries had shifted. Thomas Hearns had moved on from Emanuel Stewart, and Andries, perhaps prematurely, was talking about a rematch with Hearns. Fight night itself began with confusion. A delay at the start forced a last-minute rearrangement of the ringside layout, and in a moment of unintended comedy, Andries took a wrong turn leaving his dressing room and got lost in the arena's maze before finally finding his way to the ring. But once the bell rang, all was forgiven. There was only the ring, the crowd, and one last fight to decide everything.
Aquí está Jeff Harding. La campana va a marcar la iniciación del combate a 12 rounds. Aquí está. El de pantalón color oro es Dennis Andries, un pesado chico que está justo en la categoría de los pesados ligeros. Harding es un supermediano agrandado y de alguna manera este es el pleito más difícil que tiene Andries, porque este es sin duda el mejor de todos los aspirantes a la corona. En el Hammersmith Odeon de Inglaterra se realiza esta pelea que le brindamos a través de boxeo Budweiser en la cadena Univision. Están cambiando golpes. En el centro del ring se encontraron con bastante facilidad en estos primeros momentos y un público muy entusiasta está enmarcando la realización de la pelea. Joe Cortés es el árbitro del combate. 26 años tiene Jeff Harding, es oriundo de Sydney, Australia. Andries, que ahí descargó una muy buena izquierda abierta sobre la cara del aspirante, tiene 37 años. Del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo. Ataca Andries. El golpe de ambas manos en la zona baja, descargó una buena derecha sobre la cara. El público lo estimula, ahí se va el ataque otra vez. Metió una muy buena derecha, una mano tremenda sobre la cara de Harding. Está descargando las manos porque encuentra facilidades en la media distancia. Dennis Andries, el campeón del mundo, en la parte final de este primer round. Otra derecha de Andries, cuidado, un cruce de eso puede terminar con la pelea abruptamente. Otra vez la izquierda de Andries y otra izquierda más del británico sobre la cara del aspirante Jeff Harding, que ahí buscó recién con un uppercut, recibiendo otra vez la derecha abierta. Otra derecha más de Andries sobre la cara de Harding, otra izquierda más y un uppercut de derecha del campeón, ampliamente favorable para él este primer capítulo de una historia trascendente en esta categoría, un título mundial. Ataca Harding ahora, va a buscar la media distancia, creo que equivocadamente, llega a la campana y marca la primera 3. Violento, muy duro, auspicio como que va a ser muy difícil que la pelea llegue al final estipulado. Ahí tienen la determinación, la denominación, el de pantalón color oro, el más bajo es Dennis Andries, de piel de ébano, ahí se va al ataque. Encontró algunas facilidades en el primer round realmente interesantes y sorprendentes, pero muy bien preparado siempre. No es un hombre de talento, ahí está descargando izquierda tremenda y otra derecha más sobre la cara de Harding y otra derecha y otra más. Decíamos que Andries nunca fue un boxeador de talento, pero es un verdadero obrero del ring. Tiene 39 victorias, 8 derrotas y 2 empates. Debe ser para él realmente fundamental en este combate. La pelea es clara en lo que hace a la posibilidad física de uno y otro. Ahí comienza a trabajar con mayor frecuencia Harding, pero recibe en contra. Dos veces izquierda y una derecha. Una mano muy dura, muy pesada. Vieron ustedes como conmovido prácticamente a Harding. El australiano no se decide, sin embargo está intentando manejar la pelea con la iniciativa, buscando con la izquierda en la zona baja, en la zona hepática del campeón del mundo, que retornaba con una izquierda sobre la cara de Harding. Estamos en el segundo round de esta pelea, pactada 12. Sale el campeón ahora, amarró un par de manos, pero de cualquier manera intenta imponer su rigor, su potencia, su vigor. Ahí marró un uppercut. Andries demasiado anunciado. El australiano va demasiado frontal. Toca dos veces con la izquierda la zona hepática. Viene la derecha de Andries. Una pelea durísima, tremenda. Se están castigando desde el comienzo al final de cada round. Está por finalizar el segundo. Buen trabajo de Harding en el hígado. Ahí fue la mano a la zona hepática. Y otra vez la izquierda en punta del australiano. Viene el mamporro de ambas manos ahora de Andries. Campana. Final del segundo. Qué áspera, muy dura. Ahí está Jeff Harding. Primer plano. El ojo comienza a mostrarse inflamado en el aspirante. Aquí está el llamado a la lucha. Vamos. Tercer round. Se prende demasiado, me parece, en la media distancia Jeff Harding, por lo menos en lo que llevamos de la pelea. Y eso le resulta mucho más cómodo, mucho más favorable al campeón del mundo, el de pantalón color oro, el que está sobre la izquierda de su pantalla. Ahí encuentra bien la media distancia Andries. Es un boxeador desordenado casi, generalmente. Y aquí la cosa cambia, comienza a meter las manos más frecuentemente el aspirante. Buena uppercut, sin embargo, del campeón del mundo. Se va arriba Dennis Andries. Buen paso lateral de Harding. Y otra vez con la iniciativa Harding, abriendo bien el camino con la izquierda, luego una derecha, otra izquierda más, trabajando en la zona baja, ahí donde no se ve tanto, pero que se hace sentir mucho más equilibrado este tercer round. Inclusive vemos un mejor despliegue por parte de Harding. Deja los voleos desde allá arriba al vacío. Andrews, ahí va el australiano, trabajando lentamente como si viniera de menor a mayor. Se va quedando Andrews, que recibe ahí una izquierda y otra más. Sale, sin embargo, bravamente, guapeando. Son hombres muy grandes, son casi de la categoría de peso completo. Son ligeros entre los completos. Una categoría que está dada entre los cruceros y los pesos completos, digamos. Dennis Andries con ambas manos, la frenó bien con el antebrazo derecho. Harding ahora que recibe, sin embargo, una derecha. Aquí en esta categoría las manos pesan y mucho, definitivamente. Y otra vez vuelve a un trabajo interesante Jeff Harding, mucho más cubierto ahora. Título de los pesados ligeros en juego, cuarta vuelta, esto es boxeo Budweiser. Un abrazo y un saludo a todos los hermanos de la raza que nos siguen a través de la cadena Univisión en Centro y Suramérica, a todos aquellos que nos sintonizan también en el estado de Texas, a los amigos que nos ven en Houston, en San Antonio, en Dallas, a todos aquellos que permanentemente nos hacen llegar su participación en este que es un poco el programa de todos los apasionados de una actividad tan particular como es el boxeo. Dura, áspera, a veces ingrata, sí, pero sin duda la más leal de todas. Aquí está atacando Dennis Andries, entregado a una lucha sin cuartel, no solo para mantener la corona, sino para dar un buen espectáculo. Y aquí el aspirante Jeff Harding castiga también duramente. Los dos se entregan por igual. Como la mayoría de los boxeadores merecen el reconocimiento de quienes amamos realmente esta disciplina. Mayor actividad definitivamente para Jeff Harding, que coloca los mejores golpes. Una pelea clara, limpia, sin especulaciones. El árbitro no ha intervenido hasta ahora, y estamos en el cuarto round. Una buena derecha de Andrews, que recibe sin embargo una perca de derecha. Son muy anunciados los golpes del campeón y paulatinamente le ha ido tomando la mano Harding. Ahí va el ataque Andrews, atención. Marró 2-3 veces la derecha. Cortito y por dentro trabaja Jeff Harding. Chocaron las cabezas sin intención. Una pelea tremenda, durísima. Con fallas técnicas, es verdad, pero de cualquier manera con una entrega de los dos muy plausible. Ha ido bajando el ritmo, son hombres muy grandes que han hecho un desgaste de energía tremendo. Y aquí el control del oxígeno sobre el final puede ser clave. Buen trabajo de Harding, va a llegar la campana. La campana está llamando otra vez al combate. Arranca el australiano rápidamente con golpes abajo. Estamos en la quinta vuelta, la pelea obviamente pactada a 12 rounds. Aquí está en juego la corona del mundo del Consejo. Empezar a darle ahora dividendos. Lo va a buscar Andrews, que está mucho más lento. Lo sacude Harding ahora 2 veces sobre la cara. Vuelve el campeón con una izquierda. Pero vean ustedes, ese jab de izquierda de Harding comienza a marcar una diferencia clarísima. Cambió absolutamente la pelea de los 2 primeros rounds a este quinto. El que maneja la pelea es Jeff Harding, el australiano. Es como si se le hubiera acabado la gasolina a Andrews, Ahí está parado, aguantando. No va ni hacia atrás ni hacia adelante. Quiere acercarse para descargar algún mamporro, pero ya no hay sorpresa, porque todos los golpes surgen desde el mismo ángulo. Esa buena derecha es la que puede conmover. Lo tomó de refilón prácticamente a Harding, se va Andries arriba. Otra vez la derecha abierta, pero ya la frenó el australiano con el antebrazo izquierdo. Vean ustedes la posición que tiene Harding para aguantar las embestidas. Ahí está, ¿ven? El brazo viene arriba. Ya no hay sorpresa con esas manos en forma de swing que envía Dennis Andries. Estamos en el quinto round. Lo frena el australiano con un par de manos, pero una izquierda del campeón llegó sobre la cara de Jeff Harding ahora, que parece haber sentido una mano. Sigue teniendo el ojo inflamado. El australiano ataca Dennis Andries ahora. Una pelea tremenda, dura, abierta, de campana a campana. Se cruzan los dos. Y otra vez la velocidad de mano de Jeff Harding comienza a tejer una diferencia a su favor. Va a llegar la campana que va a marcar el final. Demuestran alguna lentitud que no había aparecido en los primeros dos rounds. Es obvio, claro, ahora está más cansado, pero está extremadamente cansado. Recién estamos en el sexto round, la pelea está pactada a 12 vueltas. Es como si no hubiera podido cambiar el aire todavía Dennis Andries. Comienza un poco también a tirar los golpes, vean ustedes, apoyaron los talones. Entonces el ángulo de disparo es otro, no tiene la misma efectividad. Mientras sigue siendo intenso el trabajo, sobre todo en la zona baja, en los flancos y en la zona hepática, por parte de Jeff Harding. Las manos del australiano quizás no son tan potentes. Es durísimo Harding, ¿eh? Aguantó a pie firme el vendaval de los dos primeros rounds y ahora ha ido enmarañando la pelea de manera tal que la estrategia suya es la que ha marcado una diferencia, una izquierda cruzada, una uppercut de derecha de Harding sobre la cara del campeón del mundo. El uppercut ahora por entre la guardia de Harding. Se han castigado con una dureza tremenda, insistimos, 6 rounds y no hubo un clinch, no intervino el árbitro todavía. Ahí está Harding trabajando a voluntad, con absoluta soltura desde allá afuera. Por ahí vienen los arrestos de Dennis Andries, que ha caído verticalmente en su línea boxística en las últimas 3 vueltas. De Dennis Andries, que sin embargo es el primero en atacar, en sacar una izquierda cruzada. Esto es Boxeo Budweiser a través de la cadena Univisión. Nuestro encuentro de cada semana con este deporte apasionante. Y sigue cumpliendo fielmente el plan trazado Jeff Harding, el de pantalón azul, el australiano que está buscando la corona del mundo de los pesados ligeros. Está aprovechando ahora inclusive el mayor alcance, el mayor reach que tiene Harding para imponer esa izquierda en punta. Ahí está. Ese es el camino. Con toda naturalidad metió una derecha cruzada sobre la cara. Y Andries ahora comienza a ser un espectador más de la pelea. Pero sin duda el más sacrificado, claro. Está demasiado estático. Hay una diferencia tremenda en el envío de manos de uno y otro. Vean ustedes. Intenta arreglar todo con una mano pesada Andries. La cosa no es tan fácil ahora. Se soltó, se agrandó Harding. Y la pelea transita por carriles absolutamente distintos al comienzo. Que está desorientado, desbordado. Ahí se jugó detrás de una derecha tratando de sorprender. Lo encontró bien. Lo cruzó bien, pero ahí vuelve otra vez con la izquierda Harding. Muy buena pelea, ¿eh? Durísima, tremenda. El público está disfrutando de un muy buen espectáculo cuando vamos ya atravesando la parte final de este round, el séptimo del combate. No pega duro Harding, pero trabaja insistentemente en la zona baja. Como tocado en su amor propio está Andrews, que recibe una derecha cruzada, plena, sobre mentón. Una mano que de haber venido con más potencia lo pudo haber derribado. Son los dos durísimos. Están haciendo una gran pelea, otra derecha del australiano, que encuentra ahora mayores facilidades. Sigue castigando Harding, dueño absoluto de la situación cuando va a terminar este séptimo. Desde otro ángulo ahí tienen el tinglado mayor levantado en la capital británica para esta pelea por el título del mundo de los pesados ligeros. Estamos en el octavo round. El de pantalón azul es Jeff Harding de Australia, 26 años. Y un récord de 21. Pesó 174 libras y medias para esta pelea. Y aparece mucho más rápido, pero además también con mejor resto físico que el veterano campeón Dennis Andries, que a los 37 años no solo está defendiendo la corona, está atravesando por un momento difícil y en una pelea que de acuerdo a lo esperado era para él sumamente complicada. No ha intervenido el árbitro Joe Cortés todavía. La pelea es limpia, seguramente se puede enredar un poco con el correr de las vueltas, pero aquí no hubo especulaciones por parte de ninguno. Los dos han ido a pelear con sus armas, quizá también con sus defectos, pero entregados a la lucha sin dar ni pedir cuartel. Está castigando sobre la cara durísimo Jeff Harding. Ahora cambia el ángulo y empezó a castigar a los flancos. Le ha dado durísimo abajo, le ha quitado piernas al campeón del mundo, que siente ya las dificultades del desplazamiento. Véanlo si no. Aparece extremadamente lento, torpe. Golpea a Jeff Harding con grandes posibilidades de sacarlo ahora. Cuidado, estamos sobre la parte final del octavo round. Se va arriba, sin embargo, Andries, un veterano, muy duro, muy valiente, entregado a la lucha, pero es el australiano ahora que maneja la pelea. Ahí está, vean la diferencia absoluta que hay entre uno y otro. Y reiteramos, la movilidad, el desplazamiento de las piernas es el que está marcando la diferencia del combate. Aguantando, yendo hacia adelante Andrews en la parte final del octavo. Campana de la pausa. De que pueda cambiar el aire, porque es la posibilidad, la carta para cambiar el trámite de la pelea. Noveno round. El de pantalón color oro es Dennis Andries, de Inglaterra, 37 años. Salió más entonado, un poco mejor. Ahí o sigue habiendo diferencias de velocidad, pero de cualquier manera ha comenzado a sacar más las manos, porque sabe que lo suyo es definitivamente una recta, pero hacia abajo. Ahí se mete y vuelve a trabajar otra vez en la zona baja con una gran paciencia. Demasiado abajo ese golpe, vamos. Y ahí va Andrews otra vez buscando echarse encima. No le da el ángulo el australiano, vuelve a repiquetear con la izquierda en punta, en jab. Primer apercibimiento para Dennis Andries por parte de Joe Cortés, el árbitro de la pelea. Una pelea absolutamente correcta. Trata de llevarlo contra el ensogado. Andrews descarga una muy buena derecha sobre la cara de su rival. Marró ahora un uppercut. Estamos recorriendo los segundos finales del noveno round. Y otra vez vuelve a aparecer la fatiga. La imagen es elocuente, se quedó paralizado, se comió una izquierda y una derecha, véanlo. Y pasó de largo antes con una mano que demuestra evidentemente la falta de reflejos. Cuando no llega el oxígeno a la sangre y no se puede pensar. Físicamente está preparado Andrews, pero no sé cuál es la razón, seguramente también la veteranía atenta contra Dennis Andries. Campana final de este round. Para nosotros hasta ahora, si esto no cambia, hay ventajas para el australiano. 10º round. La pelea es a 12 vueltas. Título de los pesados ligeros del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo. El público estimula a Dennis Andries, lo apoya, quiere transmitirle el vigor que le está faltando ahora en el momento de la verdad. Con un trabajo mucho más continuado, Jeff Harding, el de pantalón azul de Australia, con 26 años, ha ido marcando notoriamente una diferencia a su favor. Andries es mucho mejor boxeador cuando va él hacia adelante que cuando está obligado a retroceder. Cuando lo hace de esa manera, el británico va desarmado. Y ahí está aguantando en el ensogado, sin siquiera un buen trabajo de cintura. La virtud fundamental de Dennis Andries, por lo menos en esta pelea, es haber aguantado todo lo que vino. Ahí está. Y la de su rival es la regularidad de su trabajo. Estamos en la parte final del 10º round. Buena derecha ahora de Andries sobre la cara del australiano. Vamos. Cuidado que aquí en esta categoría las manos pesan mucho y pueden cambiar el resultado de una pelea en cualquier instante. Vuelve con la derecha Andries, volvía con una izquierda. Lo busca ahora en la corta distancia Jeff Harding. Muy buena pelea, fallaron los dos, falló Andries. Y como ya no tiene piernas, casi se cae. Está sostenido a penitas, sobre los talones, el campeón del mundo, que ahí se lo llevan por delante. Lo van apretando hacia atrás, pero él es guapo, es valiente, se va a jugar cuando va a llegar la campana que va a marcar el final de este 10º capítulo. Aquí está, 10º round. Joe Cortés el árbitro, Jeff Harding, pantalón azul. Allá viene contra Dennis Andries por la corona del mundo del Consejo entre los pesados ligeros. Una pelea tremenda, durísima, se han castigado con una gran intensidad. El público está apoyando a Dennis Andries, que quema el resto de oxígeno siempre en el primer minuto y medio de cada round y que luego se le hace cuesta arriba aguantar la segunda mitad de cada capítulo. La regularidad, sin muchos matices, es verdad, y muchas variantes, pero la regularidad de Jeff Harding es lo que le ha dado hasta ahora, a nuestro entender, una clarísima diferencia. Es que en boxeo están ocurriendo cosas tan raras con los fallos, que aquí sí, uno nunca sabe. Estamos transitando el 11º round, se va el campeón arriba, vamos, con la izquierda abierta sobre la cara del australiano, inteligente. Despierto sale rápidamente del ensogado, no aguanta más ahí. Vean, trabaja con cintura y vuelve contragolpeando con ambas manos en forma de swing sobre la cara de Dennis Andries. Una derecha a cualquier lado por parte de Andries, que sin embargo, 175 libras. Ataca Andries, el público lo estimula y él hace más de lo que puede realmente. Descarga una derecha, todo el mundo lo festeja, pero recibe un par de manos en contra. Se toma Andries por primera vez en la pelea. Interviene el árbitro en el clinch, ahí va Harding, está fatigado Andries, aguantando y tirando lo que puede. Tiene el ojo izquierdo muy inflamado Dennis Andries. Ataca ahora el australiano, castigando en corto con una izquierda y una derecha y otra izquierda más. No tiene efectividad Andries, que se está jugando el resto, tratando de sobrellevar una pelea para él desfavorable. Se pone dramática la cosa, cuidado, cuidado. Cuidado ahora, lo tocaron en el mentón a Andries, que se toma con desesperación. Interviene el árbitro, se para otra vez al ataque Harding, dueño de la situación. Lo va a buscar y otra vez comienza a manejar la pelea, aguanta como puede el campeón. A sí, él lo salvó la campana. Aquí van los dos en los últimos 3 minutos a jugar la gran posibilidad y en una sola pelea perdida en su carrera profesional. Jeff Harding, el de pantalón azul, que está enfrentando a Dennis Andries en Londres, Inglaterra. Se están jugando los dos cambiando golpes, se tiene que jugar Andries. El uppercut de Harding es el que se metió 2 veces por entre la guardia del campeón, otra izquierda más. Va manejando la pelea el australiano ahora. Y si no estamos muy errados, ha tenido una amplísimas ventajas en este combate. Ahí sigue manejando la pelea Harding, el público estimula a Dennis Andries. Le quiere dar el aliento que le falta, merced a su experiencia, su gran valentía. Está aguantando lo que viene, que es un verdadero ciclón. Salió ahora de pronto de la zona de defensa y ataca con más vigor y con más fuerza que efectividad. Contragolpe tremendo de Harding, tiene el ojo izquierdo casi cerrado Dennis Andries, y ahí vuelve otra vez al ataque el australiano, que es claramente superior en la técnica. Se va a jugar ahora Andries, necesita un golpe decisivo. Se va a jugar Andries, a ver si lo pesca, a ver si lo emboca. Vamos a ver. Una izquierda sobre la cara y otra más. No puede más, ¿eh? Está contando los segundos. Dennis Andries vuelve a atacar Harding. El australiano en la ofensiva con golpe de ambas manos en la parte final de la pelea. Esto es Boxeo Budweiser a través de la cadena Univision. Estamos disfrutando de una gran pelea por un título del mundo. No puede más Dennis Andries, se va encima Harding. Tiene la pelea en su bolsillo, salvo un hecho realmente muy extraño. Tiene el cinturón colocándoselo, probándoselo Jeff Harding. Ahí va buscando la pelea corta, sigue castigando y sacando las manos. Va a apostar un golpe definitivo Andries. Ya está apostando al milagro. Ataca ahora el campeón, están cabeza a cabeza, aguanta sobre el encordado el australiano y sale castigando, se tambalea, está vacilante Dennis Andries, no tanto por la potencia de los golpes, sino porque estaba agotado. Campana es el final. Campana y es el final de esta pelea. Campana y es el final de la pelea por el título mundial de los pesados ligeros. Y el público de pie saluda a los protagonistas que se entregaron a la lucha con un vigor extraordinario, con una gran honestidad, porque los dos...
Now, gentlemen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision.
Decisión dividida. Atención, decisión dividida.
Castellano scores the contest 114-114.
La primera en 114 de empate.
Scores the contest 150.
Unfortunately, my footage breaks off before the final scores were read. Harding was awarded a majority decision in a fight so close that ringside opinion split down the middle. Over 3 fights, Harding and Andries had shared 31 rounds of attrition, will, and mutual punishment. When the decision was read, Andries stood frozen, dejected. Harding, despite the victory, did not look like a winner. One reporter noted that Harding had trouble remembering long stretches of what actually happened during the fight. Later, Harding would describe Andries as a demonic Duracell bunny, a fighter who simply never stopped coming. Those wars exacted a price, not just that night, but over time. First in the ring, then far beyond it. Harding defended his title twice in France, then stepped away from boxing for a year and a half. When he returned, the crown was taken from him by Mike McCallum, who outmaneuvered him over 12 rounds. Harding retired soon after, at just 29 years old, later admitting that the accumulated punishment of his career made walking away unavoidable. Retirement brought battles of a different kind. With boxing income gone, Harding struggled with alcoholism and financial collapse. He drifted through pubs, became involved in barroom fights, served jail time, and at one point was reportedly homeless. Eventually his life stabilized, but the former champion retreated from public view. Today he keeps a low profile, a fighter who paid his dues early and in full. Andries, meanwhile, pressed on. He moved up to cruiserweight in pursuit of another world title, but fell short, including a failed bid for the European Championship. His career narrowed to the British circuit before ending in 1996 after losses in 3 of his final 4 bouts. Andries faded quietly from the spotlight after hanging up the gloves. Like Harding, he faced financial ruin. In his later working years, he was employed as site security at a building in Canary Wharf. According to reports, he wants nothing to do with boxing now. 3 fights, 31 rounds, no true winner, only 2 men who gave everything they had and paid for it long after the final bell. Thanks for watching.